Namaste everyone at GDG Ludhiana. My name is Vinayak Sarawagi and I'm here to talk to you about IntentJS, which I'm pretty excited about. This has been my baby since past 1 year and an idea for quite many years now. Without any further ado, let's talk about how I built IntentJS, how we marketed it, how people got to know about it, and what's the idea behind it overall. So let's move forward. A quick intro about myself, I would say. My name is Vinayak. I currently head the engineering team at Genesis, it's one of my actually favorite companies which I work at. That is retail sector, and I'm also the creator of IntentJS. Just in case some of you guys don't know me. It's a new NodeJS framework which we'll be discussing about. So before we discuss in detail what is IntentJS, how was it built and all, I'll just want to give you a quick update since our first launch that we did on 27 July 2024. So till now, 6+ products have been built using IntentJS, and we have gathered approximately 680+ stars. I would say around 690 stars in this range. And we have been shipping like a crazy mad person since then. So we have done approximately 10+ releases. In November's release we shipped some one of our biggest release, which is some crazy changes there where we just pivoted the HTTP performance by 20x approximately. Increase the handling the request per second from 12K to 230K per second. All right. And the contributor community has been growing strong since then. We have around 7 contributors in the ecosystem. And while I am the main contributor, but since it's an open source, some lovely people are coming and contributing to the project as always. So this has been our progress. I would say it's a humble journey till now. Nevertheless. So what exactly is IntentJS? All right. So I would say intent, in simple words, if I have to say it, intent is like Laravel for Node.js. For some of you who might know about Laravel theoretically or might have used in some of their products, they would know what power Laravel gives you as a developer. All right. What impact or influence does it have on you as a developer? All right. So it becomes a the features are so that the framework is so that it becomes kind of obvious for you to use it and all that stuff. But the problem with Node.js ecosystem that I have been facing is that there is no framework like this in our ecosystem, specifically Node.js. All right, the community is fragmented. There's a lot of choices that you can do. There's a lot of bad decisions, bad packages, or unmaintained packages or something like that. There are multiple notions that are going forward, whether to use CommonJS, whether to use ESM modules or whatnot. So that's why I built this framework, because I have been a Node.js developer for the past 6 years now. And in parallel, I've also been a Laravel developer. And while I realized that my speed in Laravel have been great, because I used to ship like a madman there as well, because you can just use the integrations, out of the box integrations, to integrate stuff like storage queues, mailers, localizations, database, cache, and whatnot. But to do the same in Node.js project, or if you are a Node.js developer, many of you will be able to relate to it, that you will have to go through 10+ steps, 20+ steps to integrate a single package. And every time you are building a new project or a new product, you'll have to follow the step all over again and again. And God forbid if you have another developer in your team, because there you will immediately see difference of opinion, a different implementation than the standard one. So that's why these are some of the problems that I faced through in my team while I was working as a technical lead. That's why I decided to build this particular framework called IntentJS. So I would say it's not a full stack framework as of now. It's while I'm still working on the React.js integration, but we love to call it more of a product stack framework, which means that everything that you need to build a low to medium scale product, all right, IntentJS has it all. All right, I can guarantee you that you don't need to step out of this particular framework to use some other stuff that you will ever need. All right. if you're an indie hacker, or if you're just a startup which is getting started, IntentJS has it all. You can just go forward and use it out of the box. You want to use message queues, AWS integrations are done on the day one itself. The second feature about IntentJS is that it's fully built on TypeScript, no JavaScript fiasco. You don't have to write JavaScript or TypeScript in the same project. It's a fully typed project, packed with more than 10 plus integrations and features like storages for AWS, message queues, mailers, localizations, databases, caches, and whatnot. And we also support dependency injection, which is a very, I would say, long forgotten programming concept, but still very relevant in today's ecosystem, which is dependency injection. So, yep, thanks to Nest.js for that. We are using Nest.js dependency injection containers only to power our IntentJS features. So, yep, many must of you have heard of or thought of till now at least that why IntentJS? If you have frameworks like Nest.js, if you have frameworks like Express and whatnot, you can use it. You can just simply go forward and use it. Why IntentJS? Why stress yourself with another framework? Yep, that's a fair question. So let's see how we can answer that. So as I mentioned initially, that the Node.js ecosystem is currently a very fragmented ecosystem. All right, you will have paradox of choices. You will get into paradox of choices, which in other words will be analysis paralysis, which means that you yourself will not be sure which package to use, which package will have dependency deprecation or some API deprecation happening in the next 1 month, 2 months, 3 months down the line. There have been multiple instances where I've integrated one package, but 6 months down the line, the package has stopped. The author decided not to upgrade the package anymore, decided not to upgrade to the latest Node.js version, decided not to upgrade the deep dependencies of the packages, which itself which blocks me as a developer as well to not able to upgrade my Node.js project. So that was some problem that we faced, that I personally faced. And also, if you have to integrate S3, if you have to integrate SQS, if you have to integrate Redis in your project, you'll have to again do the same stuff over and over again. So yep, that's why this is the current state of Node.js that we are in right now. And this is the exact set of challenges that IntentJS is trying to solve. So these are some screenshots that I took up from Twitter, and which I personally feel justify why IntentJS is needed actually. So if you see in the first screenshot, it says, in my opinion, it's never Laravel versus Next.js. It's always Laravel versus Next.js plus 47 other packages and whatnot. You want to integrate Next.auth, you'll have to integrate Prisma as well. You'll have to integrate you have to integrate Next.this, Redux, Next.dat, and whatnot. All right. But just think about it, a single framework which gives you all. All right. You don't have to repeat those steps again and again. Your understanding remains the same from one product to another product. You don't have to go and read through the code bases. It's just a nomenclature structure that is imprinted in your mind, that you can just assume that, all right, this code, this is how it will work in this another IntentJS project. And the second tweet is by the creator of Laravel itself, which is Taylor Otwell. So he basically tried to explain like why people need to use Laravel, or why should there be a framework in Node.js ecosystem that provides stuff like Laravel and all. All right. So just an interesting take that I started working on IntentJS even before this tweet happened actually. So yeah, it's the same feeling that we are going through. So yeah, pretty much this thing. So and let's talk about how is IntentJS different. All right. So I would say Intent internally uses a modified version of Express. All right. Or I would say a similar API, which is very similar to Express, but Intent is not equal to Express. Many of you must be thinking like Express is a framework, but let me get one thing right, that Express is an HTTP library. It's not a framework. Express lets you handle HTTP request. Nothing apart from that. All right. Obviously, there are packages like Multer, Winston, and which you can use to integrate multiple functionalities during your HTTP lifecycle of an application, which means that whenever a request comes to the server and from where it goes to the back to the client. But the problem is that Express is an HTTP library, while Intent is a fully fledged framework, which means you can integrate message queues, which means you can integrate caches, which means it gives you support for storage, localizations, mailers, notifications, and many other stuff like event listeners and all. Whereas Express only gives you the HTTP router functionality, and on top of that, a middleware functionality that you can use. And yep, it's a single framework to offload your biggest pain points. For me, I'm pretty sure you must have developing multiple project of yours, or at least one of the product that you must have tried till now, and you would have realized that the setup itself will take approximately a week for you to do it. And just think about it: you run a single command, you get everything in a single go. All right, using a single command. With Intent, you get a sweet, elegant, and well-structured framework to quickly build and ship your project while we sort out our details. So Intent has, I would say, some sweet abstractions, which means that you don't need to worry about how S3 is integrated, how SQS is integrated, how Redis is integrated. Intent handles it all. You are just given some pure APIs, clean APIs, which you can simply use to power your application. All right. You don't have to worry about what is integrated, how is it integrated. You just configure it and it's ready to go. All right. The fourth one is predictable code base and actions, which is equal to faster development and even faster debugging. So this is a very underrated point actually. As a developer, we tend to miss out on this particular thing called, if your code is not predictable, all right, then you are in it for a long day. All right. So I'll try to explain this thing. So if your code is not readable, understandable by others, all right, they will never know what is happening behind the scene. All right, they will never know. You yourself will never know if your code is going to behave in a certain way or not. All right, Intent diminishes that. Intent gives you predictable code base, which means, as I mentioned, let's say if you're building 2 applications using Intent, the code base will be so similar that you don't have to worry about the abstractions, so don't have to worry about the implementation. Just by reading the code, you will know what is happening behind the scene. All right, and it also means faster development and a faster debugging. If you know what your code is doing, then you will be able to debug it faster, develop it faster, ship it faster. And fifth point is developer experience is greater than anything, in my personal opinion. So developer experience, I would say it's similar to, let's say similar to user experience, but specifically for developers while they are coding. So you are building a product, and let's say if I have to tell you that, hey, do you want to do this? Download this package from here, download this package from here, some other package from some other source, and all that stuff. All right, that's a bad developer experience. You are basically just working as an assembler most of the time, trying to integrate stuff and praying in your mind that ki kya pata chal jaye. That's now how it is supposed to work. All right. So Intent also tries to handle this stuff. So we provide you the integration, we provide you the configuration, we provide you the drivers. You just configure it and ready to go. You don't have to worry about the stuff. So let's move on to the next slide. What Intent aims to be. That's actually a very interesting slide. Where do we see ourselves? So I would say we are pretty lenient in that way because we don't aim for too much. I'm not aiming for that we'll be replacing Rust, Golang or PHP in the ecosystem, but we simply want to cater or become a single go-to framework for the developers who love Node.js. All right. So we just want to become a single go-to framework for developers and especially indie hackers and teams. I'm myself an indie hacker. And the second one is that provide everything you will ever need to build a product. For example, payments, admin panels, notifications, infrastructure, authentication, whatnot. So we want to build that ecosystem around IntentJS. All right, where you don't have to worry about be dependent on multiple providers, multiple distributors. You don't have to download this package from there, download this package from there. We will take care of everything. And Intent in its current state is also able to take care of I would say most of the things that you require while building a nice product. And coming to another agenda of the product, that how did we spread the word? So this is actually interesting one, and many of you, I'm hopeful that you will be able to take good actionables out from it. That I would say Twitter is your friend, man. All right, you need to consider Twitter as a friend. I initially was more lenient towards LinkedIn. I used to post most frequently on LinkedIn, but I had a Twitter account but never used it actually. Sorry, but when I started using Twitter, and when I saw who all are there, what all tech influencers are there, all right, and the way I was able to connect with them, it was so much easy for me to be able to connect with like-minded people on Twitter. All right, it just had all of my attention. I don't post frequently on LinkedIn as I do on Twitter now. All right, don't run away from Twitter, because the audience is there, your users are there, your people are there, your friends are there, the people you respect in ecosystem are there. All right. Second point is that be shameless when it comes to marketing. Spread word, tell people about it, talk about it in X spaces. All right. So this is one thing that I have learned from Manu Paji, that you need to be shameless when it comes to marketing. All right. If you yourself are not going to talk about your product, then don't expect anybody to talk about it or even use it for that matter. All right. Nobody has that time in the world. The first word needs to come from you. The first sentence needs to come from you. The first campaign needs to come from you. All right. You have to tell people about it. You need to listen to them. All right. Talk about it at X Spaces. X Spaces is an amazing stuff. All right. You connect with so like-minded people there that you can just simply go ahead and raise your hand and talk and tell people about a product that you have built. The third one is build in public, which I would say is it's a very interesting trend. I would say has mostly favored me in my in my journey of IntentJS. All right. So post constant updates, post about it. Don't post shitty updates, I would say, but post valuable updates. Tell your users that we have shipped this. I have shipped this particular feature, or this has been the new release of IntentJS or your product. All right. And the fourth one is that prove or provide value through your product. All right. You can be posting all about it on X every day, every minute, every hour, but nobody is going to use it if your posts are not valuable. All right. People need to have that value or need to see that they can derive value from your product. All right. If you are going to do it, it's a very safe assumption, man, that thousands of people around you are going to do the same stuff. All right. So you need to set that boundary, or you need to set why should people turn their heads to you by proving that you are providing value to them. Your post is providing value, your words are providing value, your product is providing value to them. So that's how you set yourself apart from others. All right. So that's all about it actually. So I would say, just to recap here. So I would say Twitter is your friend. All right. You need to be shameless in marketing. All right. आपको ही बात करनी पड़ेगी. Otherwise, don't expect that somebody else from your friend circle or somebody who knows you through some distance will ever talk about it. They are not going to do it. They have their own stuff. And the third one is build in public, which means post constant updates, talk about it to people, take feedbacks on the public platform. Don't post negative comments on criticism. If somebody is criticizing your product, take it in a positive manner. The fourth one is prove or provide value through your product. All right. You need to provide value. That's all it matters. Everybody is trying hard to prove that their product provides value. All right. And you need to see what metrics do people really care about, how it benefits them, And if you are able to crack this metrics around them, your product will shine. So yep, that comes to almost an end. That brings us almost to an end. So if you have any questions, feedbacks, or criticisms, as I mentioned about the criticism point myself, so all of them are welcome actually. So yep, I guess this is the second last slide. So I would say help us spread the word. All right, if you like what is IntentJS till now in this session, if you're even able to relate to one of the problems that I talked about in the NodeJS ecosystem, I would say help us spread the word. All right, if you help us spread the word, then some person some developer in the NodeJS ecosystem who is going through the problem will not have to go through again it. Sorry. So yep, and if you like what we are doing, do post about us on Twitter. Want to be a contributor? Head over to the GitHub repository of IntentJS, and you will see some issues listed there that you can use. Yep, and this is you can scan the QR. If you want to send me an email, it's hi@tryintent.com. And if you want to send me a DM, it's by Vinayak2506 on X. Yep, so that sums up all. I hope you guys were able to derive some value from this session. And yep, see you in the next session. Bye.